Yo, welcome to episode 10 of my premium podcast, Experience and Friends. If you're listening to this podcast, I appreciate and thank you. There's more to come. This podcast is expanding, transforming, and evolving. Thank you all for your feedback and support. Today's special guest is a philanthropist, community organizer, and king. I'm talking about LD Jenkins, creator and founder of One Voice, One People, a nonprofit organization that seeks to restore the former glory to Black kings and queens around the globe. After you listen to this podcast, go to his website, onevoiceonepeople.com, for more information. If you listen to my podcast, please like, share, subscribe, comment, rate, and review, especially on iTunes. Your continued support is critical in the success of this podcast. No more stalling. And Friends, episode 10, featuring LD Jenkins. Let's get to it.
And we see where it goes from there. But this is to all the family members out there, all of you guys out there. I'd like to thank you all for all your hard work, all your dedication, and love for your people. And I'm speaking to right now, One Voice, One People /family organization. So, we're going to chop it up, and I just want to say peace and Black power. I love you guys out there.
So, who are the One Voice and the One People?
This is an organization that's set up amongst a group of people that's like-minded. Majority of the people, members, are Kemet followers and Kemet students.
The majority?
The majority.
Okay. And what is Kemet?
Kemet, when we talk about Kemet, we talk about ancient Kemet, going back to the way life first started. The Pharos, the kings and queens that we are today, but being knocked in the head and lost of all this information and knowledge, we forgot who we were and who we are. And so that's why you see so much dysfunction amongst the Black family in the community, and we're all separated in a sense. Don't know whether we're coming or going. We're basically going back to where we come from, what we used to be, which is Pharaohs, kings, queens, and just very civilized people. This is where science, mathematics originated from, medicine.
They did?
Absolutely.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
You see a trend headed back in that direction?
I feel like it's a lot of, this is a time where, like they call it time of Aquarius.
Right.
A lot of people are waking up. I don't know if it's because of how we're being treated out there in the streets, how we're looked at upon, when I say us, Black people, across the whole nation, across the world. I think that, a lot of the media has a whole lot to do with the way we're being judged and the way we're being presented out there to the masses.
True. I would agree that the media plays a large role. A lot of it, I think, is kind of like when you put yourself in certain positions,
Mm-hmm.
then you're gonna look a certain type of way.
Mm-hmm.
And not that that's fair,
Mm-hmm.
but you still have to be mindful of how you're carrying yourself, how you behaving, maneuvering in the streets.
But I want you to be that voice to say, I want you to be that voice to question it. If you feel a certain way through your experiences, because everyone's journey is different. So if you feel, I would like to hear you express it, So if you feel differently, I think I can almost bring it back to, it's a reason for everything that we do. So like you were just saying, okay, it's the way we project ourselves.
It can be.
Right.
Can be.
Right. And I'm not saying that, you're standing against it, but just to answer that, let's say through slavery's not over. We're locked, we unchained physically, but mentally.
Right, for sure.
And so many white professors I'm speaking about now, who came out and forward and said, look, the game is designed so Black people will not win. Just think about it. We're the top of the food chain, and speaking for white people right now. If we give up this position, why would we give up this position? Because then we have to play the opposite role. And they know what was done no matter where they went, if it wasn't slavery, there was manslaughter. They were slaughtering people. This is just their nature, and this is their way of ruling, and this is a concept that they was taught from the beginning.
Okay. All right. So now that we digested that, or, touched on that for a second, what are let's go back to the foundation. Mm-hmm. And so that started to kind of spread that rhetoric throughout the community so that like people can kind of like? Are you trying to spread that away? That mental that state of being?
What you're saying. Absolutely not. What we're about, going back, right, because we got off course a little bit. Going back to...
I do that.
Mm-hmm. going back to what One Voice, One People is about. The name explains itself. Think about it. When you're speaking to people in the large or different communities, one thing everybody will agree, that black people don't agree, or it's hard to agree on one thing. We're very divided.
Right.
What we out to show and prove is that we can all come together, unite.
Okay.
We can all agree on, one thing.
Okay.
Like give you an example, like the Jews. The Jews said, we're from Israel. And I think any professor or anyone that does the research know that the Jews do not come from Israel. And so, but as a large community, one thing they do is agree. Right. Even if it's a lie. Right. They all tell the same lie.
Of course.
And so that's the positive, that's the pros on, not preaching that, okay, yeah, we ought to tell lies, but we need to be the same. We need to be at the same point where, if this is what it is, we all need to agree. And for some not weird reason, but because of our DNA and what happened to us over a certain amount of years, over and over and over. Conditioning, it became habit.
Right. I noticed that, and I've said this on multiple occasions, that when you have a Chinese person and he moves into a new area, the first thing he does is look for other Chinese people.
Absolutely.
Whatever goods or service he offers, he tells the other Chinese people, and they say, okay, cool, I do this. You own a laundromat, I own a drugstore. Right. So, when you need drugs, medicine, come see me. I need my clothes wash, I'm going to come see you. Right. And, they piggyback off each other. And then, that's multiplied by however many Chinese men move into that area, over a certain amount of time. And everybody does that. The Jews, white people.
Everybody does it except for the blacks.
Except for. And a lot of those communities, they live off of their income and our income.
Absolutely.
Because we don't shop at black-owned supermarkets or black-owned stores. We got to go to South Park Mall and shop. You're not balling if you didn't buy it out of Neiman Marcus or this
Macy's.
Right. So while this person's at work making money, he's also making more money while you buy his clothes.
Well, we're in that Patriot now.
Right. So without that mentality, I agree with what you're saying. It's just hard to visualize, right? Like the community at large not caring about, And I said all that to say that, when I move into a new neighborhood, of course I feel comfortable. Oh, there's other black people, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I gotta watch. I gotta watch you. I gotta watch you. But I do feel more comfortable because if it comes down to it, we could click up. But at the same time, I do gotta watch you. I gotta keep you at arm's distance.
And that's what of our huge. That's one of our number one responsibilities that we're striving to get across to each other and to the community. Because, like I said, this organization is about rebuilding the community. And so when I say rebuild the community, exactly on what you were saying. We want to come in the community. We want to teach each other. First of all, we want to teach the black men how to love each other again, how to honestly look out for them, be your brother's keeper. We can do that. When I was young and ripping and running, I used to get in fights, and it was, I had this, this tip on my shoulder, or it was nothing for me to fight another brother. Right. But at the same time, too, though, because even as a baby, I had knowledge of self, I'd be quick to fight the enemy as well. Right. But as I matured and as my knowledge grew, I learned that, just as easy as it was to fight my brother, it became easy to love my brother. And so anytime I meet a brother, such as yourself, in fact, when I met my brother Blue, and, we started building and, and formed this unity, he was like, man, I deal with nothing but good people. When I first met you, it was like nothing but love. Like, you would have thought I knew you forever, basically. You know what I'm saying? And I strive to spread that throughout the members in our organization. I lead by example, in other words. And so this organization is open to every one of us because it's not my organization. This is ours. That's what we call them. You know, it's an organization / family. And so what we have to do is just go in the neighborhood, build up the young children, build up the young men, you know, build up the elders, take care of our elders. And I see it happening. You know, when I first started this organization, I was out there by myself. And then I met this sister, you know, and she's excellent out there. She's an educator. We call her the educator. You know, she's one of our elders. Well, she was very supportive. You know, she saw me from afar. I see what you're doing, young brother. Yo, keep it up. It's going to pay off. And so going from one, down there's many, and we're in many states. And so my goal is for us to not only just be in each state over here in the United States, to also spread abroad. We have one brother out there in Ghana and West Africa. And we've been giving him support and giving him donations. And he's starting to build up his little following and the little kids out there so they don't go the wrong way. He said, you know, this is what he about. You know, making sure the kids have something to do. And basically they started like a little new school. And they put on performances or whatever.
What type of support do you have in this community, in this area? Have any government officials reached out to you in any type of way, or
everything's solely done out of our pockets?
Okay.
And we do little fundraisers. You know, I'll go out, and when I say me and the organization, you know, right now in this area it's 2 of us, so we'll go out, feed the community. And, you know, give them like little flyers. We sell our little T-shirts with the name of our organization on it. And it's not even actually selling, we're asking for a donation. Because like I said, we're putting back into the community, this is theirs. But in order to feed and take care of other people, you know, we ask for, you know, just a little donations if you have it. If you don't, this is what we have to do. And as our numbers grow, our finances will grow. And we'll be able to take care of that much more.
Okay. When was this organization created?
I started working on this maybe 3 years ago. Okay. But it's been active a little over a year.
Okay.
A little over a year solid.
A year solid. Mm-hmm. Okay. One thing I saw on the website, there wasn't much information, but it said the Zulus.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now what...
Excuse me, by the way, our website, which is www.onevoiceonepeople.com, is still under construction right now. Okay. So that's why all of the information hasn't up. And by the way, you know, just for wanting to rebuild our community, putting up that website, one of the sisters started getting death threats, and it's just been running up, not even a whole week, but about 2 weeks now.
Getting death threats from the website?
Getting death threats for the website. And all the website is telling people is that, look, we come into a city near you. We want to rebuild. We want us to come together. We want to start uniting. For some weird reason, the masses, people out there, I know there's a lot of sick people out there, but they don't want to see black people together. They don't want to see us unite. Right, of course. That's one of their number one things. So, right. You know, go ahead, brother.
No, you said a couple of good points right there. I think that by and large, it's easy to manipulate the masses of African Americans, like, you know, especially, you know, a lot of them pray to a white Jesus, which understand. I'm like, you know, I'm still trying to understand, but okay. But it's just like a lot of people just feel that they have to have somebody telling them what to do. Mm-hmm. There's got to be this guy. If it's not, you know, a white Jesus, it's a you know, somebody who swears that he's got their best interests at heart. You know, it's some guy, always somebody who has to lead them. And without that, you know, it's troublesome for them to come together. But when they do come together, you know, it's very frightening because, you know, you got a lot of, you know, potential.
So we say when who come together?
African Americans, right?
Okay.
Yeah, when they come together, of course, it's a lot of potential. For as much strife as I deal with on a regular basis, I know for a fact that being a black man is like the top. Like there's something that tells me like I am